Welcome in on episode 99 in the KIPS podcast. My name is Tyler Valencia, and I'm the president of KIPS and Time to Train Fitness. Episode 99, gonna start at the time of this recording. The new year just started, 2024, and going back to the well, the YouTube well, one of my favorite topics because I really think there's some great value in there for health, wellness, fitness businesses, no matter where you are in terms of just starting off, veteran, or what career choice in terms of being maybe a yoga instructor, group exercise instructor, or you're a business, wherever you are, I think there is some value in it. Earlier in 2023, I did do a similar episode just talking about some reasons why I think every business should be, and when I say business, I mean health, wellness, fitness business. Every business should be on YouTube. And I'm going to give my first caveat here of in terms of when I say every business should be on YouTube, that it doesn't mean that you have to go all in right away in terms of like doing full workouts. When I say that, you could be just recording how-to videos or just using it to make little instructional videos. I think there's a lot of value in that as well. So with the previous episode and this being a new year and this the first episode of 2024, I wanted to go back to it because not only have my views evolved over the last year and a half, 2 years, and gaining more insight and, the industry growing, I think that doing an episode like this, it's good timing. Because hopefully somebody listening, you're a health coach, wellness coach, strength coach, personal trainer, wherever you are, maybe this is that little spark that helps you out and you think, okay, I'm going to try something. And with trying something, I think that making sure that you have the lens of this is just the beginning. I know that sometimes we get caught up with, I want things to be perfect. I want to do it the right way. And YouTube, and I talked about this in that first episode, that it's more about the journey and learning throughout your process, learning how to make content better, and not worrying right off the bat that it's 100% perfect. I think you can learn a lot about yourself and even grow your business to save yourself money. All those extra things, editing, cameras, lights, all those things cost money. And if you're going to hire a company to do that for you, you're going to honestly shrink your return, or it's going to take a lot longer to get there and you might need more of an investment. So with this episode, before I get into, I do want to say thank you for taking the time for listening to the KIPS podcast. I check the stats on it. I look them up and I see that we're growing, which is great. It's a podcast that I started a few years back because I think that podcasting for myself, it provides me a great opportunity to work on my own public speaking skills, which I'm going to talk about later on for YouTube. And I think that podcasting in general is a great resource for health, wellness, fitness professionals. So if you get a chance, make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel. It is one of the platforms that I will be growing in 2024. And there's going to be a free course I will release that in this year, hopefully within this month that this podcast is being recorded. Let me give you now, getting back to the episode here, one of my other caveats here. And the first one, like I said, you don't have to go all in right away. I think that there's a lot of stuff that you can do without creating full-on workouts. Like I said, you're doing how-tos and the process of building a blog, newsletter list, all those things are part of it. And I think that the other reason in terms of this episode, and one of the things I want to throw out there is that I think that it's also YouTube is one of the platforms that allows for organic growth. That is one of the things, like I mentioned in my own little introductory of who I am, that I own two businesses. One of them is a YouTube-based business. That's Time to Train Fitness. We are at the moment 4 YouTube brands that we do workouts in different spaces. And the other one with KIPS, we do fitness education. That's a very, I will say, traditional business style with a website, social media platforms, email, all that kind of stuff that a traditional business will have. And YouTube is one of those platforms that I believe it really allows for organic growth in terms of it helps you find your audience. It's not such a big pay to play platform like Facebook, like Instagram, like LinkedIn, where you have to pay to get views, to get growth, that YouTube, it allows you to grow content, make good content, and people will find you. So I think that fact right there is one of the best parts of it. I'm friends with, and I know YouTube channels where they've done it organically, and all those other platforms that I just mentioned grew from YouTube. So their social media accounts, their audience, their website, their in-person audience all grew from starting on YouTube. So that fact right there, I think, is huge. I really do. I think that these days it's very hard to grow an audience, a business, and especially if you are a traditional business, like I said, having a website, trying to do ads on Facebook, doing Google ads, trying to do your SEO, trying to grow your local market. All those things cost money, and you are constantly reinvest. Yes, you do reinvest with YouTube, but that's mostly in terms of improving the process, improving all those things. So I already talked about some of the first reasons, and that is with YouTube, it gives you the opportunity that traditional business doesn't have. But that is tip number one, that it gives you the opportunity that the traditional business will struggle with SEO. So let me bring in an example here with my company, Time to Train. When it first started, it was a fitness outdoor boot camp in a park, and having to try and grow your local audience. I mean, you're trying to link build. This was back in 2012 to 2015. You're trying to grow all these areas. So you're trying to figure out how to do it on a budget. You're trying to figure out how to get on the first page of Google. Is it the URL? I mean, that was one of the strategies back in the day. You're buying multiple URLs, you're link building, you're trying to get your link in different publications, all these different things that make your website more credible. And it's tough. It takes a lot of time. And if you're in the health, wellness, fitness space, most likely you don't have much education in that area. That's now a very big area for education, despite it being super important for growing a business, a brand, especially these days. And with that being said, all the website items, in terms of if you are trying to manage your website, all that kind of stuff, you really don't have to do those things if you're on YouTube, because you're just working on your channel. You're working on growing your content. Yes, there is quote unquote SEO items, and you see people and videos out there that will say, oh, this is super important. You need to put this title, this. In my opinion, and from what I've seen, those are not as highly rated. Yes, there are some fundamentals, some basics you want to hit, but anybody that's just starting off, they can go watch a video and get those down right off the bat. How long or what you should do with your descriptions, your titles, your tags, all those kinds of things. And despite how many spam emails you get saying, I can grow your YouTube channel, I can do this for you, you don't really need those, in my opinion, because once the YouTube algorithm really kicks in and it starts finding your audience, and that's really what YouTube wants to do. It wants to find who's that perfect viewer for your video. It's going to find more people like them. And so YouTube does a lot of the hard work, the legwork for you to grow your audience. And like I said before, it will trickle into those other areas, your social media platforms like Instagram, like Facebook. If you're on X, all those other platforms can grow from just one specific thing, focusing on YouTube. So that's my tip number one, or the reason, I can't say it's a tip, it's a reason why you should start on YouTube if you're not already. If you're in the market for adjustable dumbbells or at-home workout equipment, check out Core Home Fitness at the link in the description. From adjustable dumbbells, multi-function benches, and all-in-one options, they got it all. I personally have their adjustable dumbbells and the glute drive that also works as a bench, and would recommend them to anyone building their home gym or looking for easy adjustable options. The dumbbells, they easily adjust from 5 pounds to 50 pounds just by turning the handle and lock in for your safety. Grab yourself a pair and see for yourself how easy they can fit into your fitness program. If you've been a fan of this podcast, you know that before end of each episode, you're going to hear a promotion for the Naboso Duo insoles. I've been using them for probably a year and a half, and I personally think they're game changers. I think everybody should get them, try them out, see what you think. And personally, I've talked about how I used to have foot pain just from sitting at a desk and then trying to be active, trying to go work out and not really being able to fully maximize it. So I always try to throw it out there for individuals to just try them out, see what you think, utilize them in your day-to-day, and hopefully improve your overall activity level. That's the key right there, activity level. So check them out. There's a link in the description for the Naboso insoles. They have a variety of them to check out, different accessories. Check them all out, see what you think, and hopefully come back and let us know that they've really helped out with your activity level. Let's get back to the episode. Number 2 here, and it is the space, looking at the whole health, wellness, fitness space. A lot of it is self these days, or individual brands. Yes, you can be an individual brand within a business, and it's great, in my opinion, to do that. Let's say you're a personal trainer working in a town or a city, or even a space within a big city. It's important, I think, to have your own individual brand within a gym. Yes, the gym affords you the opportunity to train clients, to have a spot, but you should be growing your own brand within there, because most likely people, and I've seen it plenty of times, that people will follow you if you're great. If you are, let me bring another example here. If you're a group exercise instructor, I've seen many times without the use of really social media that people will follow their favorite instructor to different gyms because they really enjoy them. They enjoy what they do in their classes. They feel like it's the best. It gives them the best workout, whatever that might be. And that's an individual. That's not the gym. And that is a really big key, in my opinion, because with individual brands, growing those items, it opens up the door for other areas, sponsorships, partnerships, working with other brands, and those types of things open up, and is a lot of what the fitness space is. You probably see those. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably see those when you open Instagram up and you see all these different collabs going on, and you're like, how do you get there? They're working on their own individual brand. And you could do that with YouTube. And I think I have to bring in that point from the beginning of this episode, the introduction, when I said that don't judge yourself right off the bat, because it's about the journey. It's about learning how to make better content and developing these skills to grow. Yes, have that goal in mind that, okay, I want this video to be in 4K. I really want it to be edited in a special way. I want it to look a certain way, all these different things. But right off the bat, you're not going to have all those down. I say this story all the time whenever I teach my lectures on YouTube at different conferences, how when I look at my first content that I made for the Time to Train channel, it's honestly shocking to me. The video, the color balance, the lighting, how it's even angled, all these different things. I'm like, oh my goodness, why did I do that? Why does it look this bad? But these videos have, one of them, the one that I'm talking about right now, has over 100,000 views. 100,000 views. And it's really, I mean, it's been a money generator for the channel, but it's one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness, why did I do that? Because you have a much better process these days. So the fact that you can create your own self brand, individual brand, and potentially get into collabs, all that kind of stuff, it could start with YouTube, because of all those skills, all the process, all that kind of stuff. Build your audience, and it can all feed into it. Now, the last one, the third reason in terms of why you should be on YouTube in 2024 is public speaking, confidence building. With this industry, you are in front of an audience, and I really don't know these days how one person or a coach, I'm saying person, or a coach, instructor can just really focus on one thing. It's hard, in my opinion, if you're just a group exercise instructor, you're just teaching group exercise, to be on that lifestyle of going to different gyms, 3 to 6, 7 different gyms that teach a few classes per day. And I mean, gas, time, between travel, when you're most likely not compensated for all those different things, because gyms just expect you to do it, and that's part of their grind. But with that process, you are in front of an audience, you are speaking to them, and working on those skills is so important in this industry. I know that personal trainers. I've known personal trainers in the past that they're afraid to be in front of an audience. And you think, well, that's literally our job. Like, our job is to sell ourselves, to grow our client base, and to be in front of an audience. You're in front of your audience when you're just walking around the gym. When you put that shirt on that has the logo on it, you're representing the company. You need to be able to speak to the audience. And if you are afraid, or you're, oh, I don't want to talk to people, well, that's literally our job. Our job is to communicate and to make people feel comfortable in their own shoes, doing something that they most likely don't want to do, whether they don't want to be there. And with being in front of a camera, all those things are worked on. No, there's nobody watching. When I'm recording this episode, there's nobody around, but yet these are skills that really pay off, being able to think, not say all the time, all those kinds of things that you can just continuously speak. It's a very hard skill to develop and to work on. So these opportunities that come up with YouTube, to be in front of a camera, work on your setup, create content. That is a lot of the scene these days, the social media scene, all that goes into growing your brand. And really, you have to think about it. Is this something that I think can help with, if I'm investing my time? I think it does. Let me bring in some things that will probably come up and you'll think, oh, but there's going to be people that are going to say it's negative, or they're not going to like it. And yes, there are trolls on YouTube. Yes, people are going to be negative about it regardless of what you're putting out there. 100%. That video that I mentioned earlier, where I said that it has over 100,000 views, it was such a basic video. It was how to clip into your cycle bike. And that was something that when I was just getting into cycling, indoor cycling, I have bought an indoor cycle bike. This was back in 2020, where at-home fitness was big. And it was one of the things, like, I bought these pedals because I heard, okay, clip-in pedals are the way to go. How do you do it? And once I learned it, and I watched different videos, and the videos I was watching, I was like, man, what did they film this on? Was this filmed on a flip phone? Like, why does this look so bad? Or why is there so much in this video about clipping in? Why don't you just show us the basics of it? Because I think that it's one of those things where cycling in general, there might be a lot of, what's the best word? Big egos out there. And they think everybody should just know how to clip in. But if you're just starting off, the most basic thing with a beginner, how do they clip into their bike? And with the fact that that's the most popular video I've ever made, it shows people need the fundamentals, the basics of something like cycling. At-home cycling is such a huge thing, and yet there are so many negative comments that I've had to either block or delete, because there's individuals out there that just want, oh, of course that's how you do it, or oh, duh. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, you might have gotten it right away, but that there's somebody out there that needs this video. So my opinion to that is just block and delete it. Just move on. That's the beauty of YouTube, in my opinion. If that is the individual that's going to be commenting on your videos, just block them and move on. There are millions and millions of people on YouTube that one person that is their life, that they want to provide negative comment and feedback, block them, move on, because there are so many people out there that can contribute in a positive way to your audience there. And then the next piece there, because I know that this is something that people think of when they create content. Oh, why are people thumbs downing my content, my videos? Again, who cares? I think in our space, the workout space, there is, and this is a comment that I've gotten at conferences when I do my YouTube lecture, is that, oh, aren't you worried that people are going to steal your choreography, or they're going to do X, Y, Z, they're just going to steal your video? So I think that goes along with the thumbs down, in terms of there's going to be people out there that do that. They're going to take your choreography. They're going to thumbs down it. I think there are some people that do not like that people give away free workouts. But to be honest, there's so many out there. And in my opinion, that creating free workouts, you're trying to improve that space. I see all the time workouts out there that you're like, oh my goodness, that's not the best, but you want to represent our industry and showcase, yeah, we can create quality content, and hopefully audience will find it. And this will help those beginners out there with creating that solid base. So yes, you're going to get trolls. Yes, you're going to get thumbs down, all that kind of stuff, but you can easily just block and move on, in my opinion. So the public speaking, confidence building, those types of things are really a big key with YouTube. Getting those skills going, getting that confidence too when you do go in front of an audience the next time. Maybe you're speaking at a local meeting. It's a meeting in your community where you get this opportunity to go speak about your business, your outdoor boot camp or your class, your yoga classes or your wellness business, nutrition business, whatever that might be, that you feel confident and you have that skill developed. You don't want to go up there and all of a sudden, I'm Tyler. My business is coaching. I do work with this audience. You don't want that. You want that skill set that just looks confident, that people are like, okay, yeah, take my money. I do want to invest in your services because of how confident you look. And this sounds great. I think this can help myself or this can help my child, whatever that might be. You want that. So those are all great things that I think can be worked on and grown on a platform like YouTube. So that has been it for this episode. With these three things that I talked about, these three reasons, they're a little new and a little kind of retreaded a little bit. Again, like I mentioned, that this is based off of adapting and growing my viewpoint on YouTube and why I think it's important, all these different things that come up with your journey and you'll learn throughout it. So I hope that this episode helps if you're in that boat. 2024, new year, new opportunities, that maybe it provides that spark to just start something and see where it goes. And there's a lot of great content that we have on the KIPS YouTube channel that can hopefully help you in that area, whether it's with audio or where you should go, what kind of products work. Check all those things out because they can definitely help and they're 100% free. My name is Tyler, president of KIPS and Time to Train Fitness, and hope to see you in the next one.